I'm with the Masai people in Kenya who still live a semi-nomadic life. So the reason that their houses are all in a circle is to protect them from the lions, the hyenas, the leopards, because we're in the middle of the savannah. So the Masai kids don't actually get their real name until they're 8 years old, right? Yeah? And there's a big ceremony and they pull out the bottom 2 teeth. That is when the Masai children get their real name. The houses are made out of mud and sticks and cow poop. And this is what it looks like inside. This is the parents' room. It's quite dark, probably to protect from the heat. How many people live in this home? 10 people live in this home. Teenager bedroom.
When you get in, you have always to bend.
You have to bend.
And that is to show respect to the particular person living there.
Sema, mimi ni kijana mdogo.
Mimi ni mzee.
Mimi ni kijana mdogo.
Mimi ni mzee.
Babe, I need to go to school. I want to change my hairstyle. Can you help me with some money? Also my nails. Aki nimekaa nazo sana jamani. Na date mzungu I also need some cluster lashes. You know these ones, they are coming off and people are laughing at me. My mom is sick. Aki, my mom is sick. She's so sick in the hospital. My dad is paralyzed. My dad is paralyzed. Our goat needs pizza, babe. You know, our goat loves pizza. Yes. And you know when I cry sometimes I need
How are you? Jumbo.
Very fine.
Jumbo, Mambo, Salama. How much is one? How much is one piece?
50 shilling only.
50. Yeah. Is it Muzungu price or local price?
The local price.
It's local price.
Yeah.
Okay. How much is Muzungu price?
How much do you have?
How much is normally?
No money.
50. Okay. 50. Okay. I have one. I'm just joking with you. I have one, please.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Let me get you 50. Take take 50. Thank you. Thank you. So can you cut it for me? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This gentleman is so nice. He's like, excuse me, can you give me road? He's not screaming. He's not saying go. Such a nice people. I eat now. I eat now. Yeah, thank you. Jumbo, jumbo. Ah, just like that.
Just like that.
Thank you so much. Let's go for this. This is so sweet. This bus is going? Okay. It's so sweet, guys. Like, this is probably the best. It's the best ananas I have ever had. It's so sweet and cost only 50. And I'm gonna tell you the price in a bit, but it's like 30 cents, I think. Very nice. It's so juicy, it's amazing. As you bite into it, the water drops. And then this is how he's cleaning it.
Tonight I am making ugali. I'm just letting my water boil first. Honestly, it's been a while since I've made ugali, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Are you excited?
Yeah, yeah. Can I make some?
Yeah?
I'm a big girl. I promise I will go really, really close to the pan.
Thank you. And I need a good wooden spoon.
You're a grown up and I need to use a long one because I don't want to get too close to the pan to burn myself.
That is a very good point.
Mama.
You want to peek out with Mama? You want to cook with Mummy? Maybe you could do a mini one in here. Wow, music!
I am excited, banana.
So I'll tell you when it's your time to start mixing. Go on, spoon, go on, spoon. Thanks, man. Okay, I need some more maize. I can see it's not thick enough. You want to do the honours and pour me some more in?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, you and Daddy do it together. I need quite a bit more. I think I put too much water in, really.
Yeah, it looked like a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop there.
Did you measure?
No. Just eyeball it, don't you? That's what you do.
Does that make ugali?
It's going to make ugali, yeah. See, now it's going to get hard and I have to keep mixing. Got to mix it hard, all right?
Mom,
we can't stop mixing. Yeah, keep going. Okay, go on then. You take your spoon out and let me keep going in a minute.
Mom,
yeah.
Look at it.
I know. Need a little bit more. It's a bit late in the day to be adding this in, but I've got to do it. Oh, my arm's aching, but I've got to keep going. This is what it's looking like. I'm hoping it's going to be alright. You've got to keep mixing so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and so that you can get it to the consistency that you want it. Let's turn that off. Little plate over it. There. Who knows how this is going to be, but we'll see. Right, let's see if this has turned out okay. I think that's going to be alright.
You're the chef, Dad. And Mummy's the best drink.
Ah, she's the best drink. It's fine.
The best at pouring drinks.
Yep. So, it's alright, drink.
Woo! Got a cake, see you. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a nice consistency.
I think we've got enough to last us the whole year, to be honest.
Wow, that is nice consistency. Look at that little wobble. It's not too hard, it's not too soft.
Whoa.
Looks like a slice of cake.
Yeah.
And then some chicken that Ray made. Here we have chicken, ugali, and not quite skuma, but spinach. So, let's go enjoy.
Food. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Remy.
Whoa, that is a massive portion.
Yeah, I do have more ugali, baby. Make it into a ball. Grab a bit of chicken. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Nice one. Bit of spinach also. All goes in. Everything turned out well. The ugali is great. The chicken is great. Skuma, we are all good.
I've heard that there's a light-skinned baddie roaming the streets of Nairobi. Can you guess who it is? No, but for real, I just landed yesterday. Literally have gotten 3 hours of sleep. But if y'all want to become mutuals, I'm trying to find some new friends, have like some hangout groups. I have like a couple cousins, a couple older cousins that I'm trying to see and hang out with, but I need friends because I don't have a lot. So not only that, but I'm trying to like actually do stuff and get out the house because I don't like going everywhere with my mom all the time. But as long as you're not weird and as long as you're not like 40 years old, like I'm 20. So anyone in that range, come hit me up or whatever, or comment on this video. I don't care. Okay, bye.
Sasa watu wanasema hakuna future hapo Nairobi. Kwani wako wajinga? Woni hii jua kali tunapata chakula mzuri. Watu wanaweza kukula fresh from the farm. Lakini I don't understand what is wrong with people nowadays. They are just so westernized that they can criticize the land we are born in. Mimi nilizaliwa hapo Nairobi, nilizaliwa hapo Kenya. And I can guarantee you that when you go to all these other places, ati wanasema uende London. Unaona hiyo kitu kikula hiyo mango imetoka wapi? Kwa refrigerator. Lakini hapo Kenya unaweza kaenda kwa shamba yako, utoe hiyo maembe, uweke hiyo pilipili mzuri na ukule kwa hii jua kali. Now you tell me, isn't this good health? Ati there's no future in Kenya. There is everything in Kenya. We have to stick together and build our nation. We cannot keep complaining that we have to go out. This is what post-colonialism has done to us, thinking we have to leave our place. They are still controlling us. Kwani you cannot understand? Kenya inchi nzuri. Hakuna matata hapo. Ukienda huko, taxation, sijui hata, watch at that. The worst is racism. So don't tell me that there's no future. There is everything in my Kenya. Kenya inchi mpoa sana.
My fellow Kenyans, let us continue talking about some occult and hidden truths about the reality of our world. Isn't it interesting how Queen Elizabeth became queen in Kenya? Let us not forget that, as I've posted in previous videos, Kenya represents one of the, let me not say one of, but the most powerful energetic gate in the world. Why do you think that there has been so much backlash and why there has been so much going on in Kenya in the past few years? But let us not forget that Kenya was always considered the jewel in the crown. And let us not forget that most of the people who were sent to Kenya during colonial times were aristocratic families. Generally, aristocratic families that didn't know how to behave. We've heard of all the weird Happy Valley stories that went on in Naivasha, where there were a lot of sex and blood rituals that would take place there, because remember, the world is spiritual before it is physical. And so for a long time, the crown had to send many people here to control this energetic stargate, because let us not forget that the first humans originated where? Here in Kenya. So isn't it interesting that Queen Elizabeth became queen in Kenya and at treetops specifically? Let us not forget the power of the land and the magic that comes through the land, especially land that is connected to Mount Kenya, the greatest portal on earth. So it was actually planned that the Queen would be here because they knew that her father was ill and they knew that he would pass on soon. But him dying in the UK while she was here in Kenya transferred, well, I want to say ownership, but that's probably not the right word. It transferred power from her father as the ruling monarch to her in Kenya, which was absorbed by the land here. And the fact that she was at treetops, the top of the tree, remember we talk about the tree of life. The tree of life that connects the physical with the astral realms. So there was no coincidence that she was here, and by her becoming queen here, it was essentially a way of taking the power of the land here and inverting it, taking that power so that it would fuel her reign. But it also anchored the false system into Kenya. Because let us not forget that those who rule in our world and have ruled for many years are connected to the Nephilim. They appear human, but they hold DNA from something far more ancient, something that is connected to evil. So the ritual that was conducted here in Kenya at the time of his father's death was really to anchor that it was almost a destiny swapping ritual in which it would also place Kenya and all Kenyans under the rule of the British monarch. So even though we gained independence a few years later, we never truly gained independence because let us not forget that Jomo Kenyatta, was placed there by the British monarchs. He was essentially there to do their bidding. So Kenya never truly gained independence. When Kenya did gain independence was when the Gen Zs took the mace from Parliament when they infiltrated during the Maandamano. So what most people don't realize is that the mace represents, so just like how the Queen and now King Charles has a royal scepter, that scepter is essentially what gives them power, because let us not forget that it is phallic in nature and they worship masculine energy, male energy. It is all about sexual energy, which is why we see these obelisks all over the world. These obelisks are an energetic pillar that absorbs energy from the sun and anchors it into the earth to do whatever it is that they need to do with it. It is an energy harvesting tool. Now, the mace is essentially needed to be in Parliament because this is what anchors the false Saturnian system, the system of evil that has been dominating our world for thousands of years. This is what anchors it into the Kenyan government. So when that mace was taken, in reality, no laws could really be passed. So everything that is currently happening under Ruto's government is not by law, but they need to manipulate us into believing that they are acting in accordance to the law, because that mace was never found and was never brought back to Parliament, meaning that every single law that has been pushed on Kenyans since that time is actually not binding. So what the powers that are falling can do is they can convince us into believing that something is real. And so what is happening now is that the Kenyans are awakening to the fact that we have way more power than we realize, and that true power comes through energetic power. So all the people who are currently standing up and saying we will no longer abide to the system is going to lead to the collapse of this system. because we cannot control the material, but what we can do is control the energetics. And other signs that show that the world of domination by the old colonizing powers is falling is, let us not forget that when Queen Elizabeth died, her wand was broken. We were told that this was to show that it was the end of her royal rule, but it was actually to show that her powers as a magi, as a magician, as an occult magician, were no longer in place. And very soon after, isn't it interesting that King Charles came out to state that he had cancer? Well, that's because his body was finally catching up with the karma of his ancestral lineage that have done nothing but pillage the world and take away the power of the indigenous people of the world. Now, remember how I talked about the UNESCO World Heritage Sites and how these were altars that were taken over by the dark forces? Isn't it interesting also that a few years ago, before all this logging started happening in Karura Forest, I suddenly came across a tree that had been planted there by King Charles. And isn't it interesting also that within the UN, you'll find a section where all the foreign heads of states and dignitaries who come to Kenya all planted trees within the UN compound, essentially stating that they are laying claim to the land. And isn't it interesting also that Kikuyu elders have said that Kenya, and specifically Mount Kenya, was called the Kingmaker? Because even in the times of ancient Egypt, before pharaohs became pharaohs, they would travel to Kenya and be initiated by the Agikuyu elders in order to be able to hold the power of the pharaoh seat. And so most foreign dignitaries come to Kenya in order to gain power, to establish their seat of power, because Kenya truly is the seat of power. Why do you think that the UN officers from New York all decided to move here? Why do you think that that massive building placed behind the Kempinski called the Global Trade Center was established there? Because what is happening is that foreign powers see that their power is falling, but they know that if they hold Kenya as a stargate, if they hold the power of Kenya, then they will continue to maintain power. So it's just a matter of time, because as Ruto continues behaving as their proxy, it's just a matter of time, because people are already seeing that he cannot be trusted. Faith in a man who presented himself as being a man of God is starting to show that he cannot be trusted at all. And so as we approach elections in a few years, people are already united. The Kenyan people are already united more than ever before in their common hatred for Ruto. So let's just say two-term will not happen. We still have this year and next year as Kenyans to do whatever we can within our power to ensure that the ruling powers of the old world will not continue to move forward as they once did. It is time for power to return to the people, and we know that we have more power than they want us to believe. The only way that they can keep us enslaved is by controlling our perception of reality. But now we know better. We know that nothing that comes out of the mouths of our leaders are true or are beneficial to us in any way, state or form. So if there is anything you do...
Farah Maalim, nasikia unataka kufanya Kenya Mogadishu. How? In your wildest dreams, unaweza taka Kenya ikuwe kama Mogadishu? I have worked in Mogadishu for 2 years. And sijawahi ona inchi lawless kama hiyo. Unaimagine nchi enye haina educational curriculum. Unaona, but the little things we enjoy in Kenya, and just to hear you Farah Maalim, mtu ambaye umechaguliwa kama kiongozi, na nashangaa sana ni akina nani hao wanakuchagua, kama unaweza taka tukue kama Mogadishu. Let me just break down to you how Mogadishu is like. Mogadishu is a place where you can be walking on the streets. Kama hauna hiyo full hijab, hiyo yenye huwa sijui inaitwa aje ile refu, somebody just pulls out a gun and shoots you. And they walk like nothing happened. We cannot see that anywhere in our country, Kenya. Number 2, Mogadishu, hakuna one national educational curriculum. Unaona venye saizi tuna struggle na CBC, tulikuwa kwa 844. There's nothing like that in Mogadishu. Mtu tu anakama na shule yake, anafunza vitu zake, mwingine ako na shule yake anafunza some Muslim things. Do we want to go there? And why are you in Kenya, by the way? Why are you in Kenya? If you want Kenya to be like Mogadishu. You know, I listened to you and I really wondered if you are truly an elected leader in Kenya. I also worked in Dadaab. Before we go to Dadaab, your constituency, let me finish with Mogadishu. Mogadishu ni mahali kwenye highway inakaa shamba. Kwa sababu kalami kenye kako, it is bordering Maram Road. And let me shock you. Kwa hiyo highway, mtu anaweza endesha side yenye anajisikia. I was so surprised. Like you can drive whichever side of the road, we bora ufike mahali penye uko. But then whatever happens in Isileta, walifanya vizuri sana kukatanisha hiyo barabara hivi katikati because it would have been extremely chaotic. Because I don't know kama hawa watu they lack training, ama tu ni hizo laws zenye hakuna. How can you drive on any side that you wish to? Mwingine anakuja hivi, mwingine anaenda hivi, mwenye ataweza kupenya aende. Sometimes you listen to leaders from, let me not generalize, but Farah Maalim, it was really shocking to hear you say that. It made me wonder why you are here in Kenya and why our president can allow you say such rubbish in front of Kenyans. Because Kenyans do not want anything near Mogadishu. We do not. I've worked in Dadaab for 3 years. Dadaab 4 years. Farah Maalim hata sijui ni pesa. Like, what have you been doing as the MP of Dadaab since you were elected? What have you done for the people of Dadaab? Your place, I make mistake inyeshe mwezi wa 4, ile mvua ya mwezi wa 4, barabara inakatika hivi haswa katikati. That guy, umekuwa in office for how long, Farah Maalim? You have never seen it important to lobby for resources. Hata kama CDF haiwezi tosha kujenga hiyo barabara, you have never seen it important lobby for resources wajengewe barabara. Because wewe najua you fly in and out of Dadaab whenever you want to go. But what about the local of Dadaab? How watu hiyo barabara ikikatika watakaa hapo hata wiki moja? You can imagine traveling to your home from Nairobi na unakaa wiki moja kwa barabara. And you are here telling us that you want to make Kenya like Mogadishu. If Trump wants to come for you for what happened in Minnesota, do not put Kenyans in your shenanigans. Because venye mlifanya sisi hatujui. If it is alleged that you stole money from Minnesota coming to invest in Kenya and Trump wants to come for you, let him come for you. And sometimes I look at what Ruto is doing to our borders. You know, sometimes we want to be kind, welcoming, nani, but that is what costed Africans. Because the welcoming nature ndio ilifanya colonialists wakaingia na wakatufanyia venye walitufanyia. So hiyo kutoa mambo ya verification ya ID, that was a very critical thing for us Kenyans. Na unaona kama tu tumenyamaza Ruto, we are not quiet. We are just watching. Because there's no way you can endanger our lives simply because you want political mileage. Utafungua aje borders na ufanye ati verification of nini ikwe. I've also worked with refugees and processing them to go to the United States. And the process for a particular nation is very rigorous. You all know who I'm talking about. Huwezi tu process au watu waende in the United States without critically looking at their history, uangalie if they were involved in any kind of terrorism, blah, blah, blah. And then you open our borders simply because you want votes. You know, hata kama by the way tunataka kura, vitu zingine by the way they are really things we need to look at critically. Farah Maalim, it's really a disappointment. It's really a disappointment. And the people of Dadaab, kindly, muangalie ni akina nani au mnachagua. Kwa sababu barabara ikikatika mkikaa wiki moja kwa barabara, it is not them who suffer, it is you. It is you. And even if you look at counties that are very backwards, ni counties zenye ziko too religious. Mambo ya religion, sijui mara ujaomba hivi, mara ujafanya hivi, mara alama yako ile ya kuomba hapa, it's not as dark as it needs to be. Can we just focus on the important things? Because mambo ya maendeleo, religion for me is a personal choice. Can we focus on the things that got you elected? Na tusikusikie tena ukisema Kenya ikuwe kama Mogadishu. Because we cannot want something like that. This is our country, we will protect it.
Unajua si vizuri kukaa place pamoja sana. Unaget mamwani kuja na nyinyi niwatembeze muangalie place beauty of Africa, beauty of Kenya. Unaget kama dawa, make sure umesubscribe hapo and share for the love kwanza, alafu endelee na story. So wewe huku hivi hii place juu kama kuna mtu anaweza kujua hii place ni wapi. Huku mtu anaweza jua ni wapi kweli huku hivi. Huku ni place nyingine fiti sana manze. Na nimeshukuru nyinyi mko hapo hivyo mkuje tutembee na nyinyi pamoja, si ndio? Bado niko na nyinyi, subscribe kwa hii channel. Alafu tujue itakuwa jamani aje kama dawa. See you next time.